Hello and welcome to the Eye, your English news bulletin. I'm Akivito and these are the headlines. The central government is in the process of recovering rupees 3,000 crore which was transferred to ineligible recipients under the PM Kisan Scheme. India has been offered 7.5 million doses of Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine through the COVAX Global Vaccine Sharing Program, but it is not clear when the jabs will arrive in the country, as on consensus on the indemnity clause is yet to be reached, sources said. The government of Nagaland has ordered the reopening classes of class 11 and 12, colleges and technical institutions and skill development institutes. A copy of the order from the Home Department, appended by the Chief Secretary of Nagaland, J. Alam, stated that the order entailed full or partial vaccination of teachers, trainers, assistants and non-teaching staff of stated establishments. And now, the news in details. The government of Nagaland has permitted the resumption of regular classes for students of class 11 and 12 and with 50% attendance in all the schools of Nagaland with effect from August 2nd, the order stated. Likewise, the government has permitted reopening of campuses and regular classes in all the colleges and technical institutions in Nagaland with effect from July 26. Similarly, the government has permitted reopening in-house skill development institutes and establishments with 50% capacity from July 26, the order stated. All these are subject to all the teachers, trainers, assistants and non-teaching staff having been fully vaccinated, taken both doses or have taken the first dose of vaccine and at least 15 days have passed since taking the first dose, this order stated. The central government is in the process of recovering rupees 3,000 crore which was transferred to ineligible recipients under the PM Kisan Scheme. Tuesday, July 20, Minister of Agriculture Narendra Singh Tomar stated that a total amount of rupees 2,992 crore received by 42.16 lakh ineligible farmers under the PM Kisan Scheme has to be recovered. 8.35 lakh of these farmers who will now have to return the money come from Assam, closely followed by Tamil Nadu with 7.22 lakh ineligible recipients. 5.62 lakh come from Punjab and 4.45 lakh from Maharashtra, whereas 2.65 lakh and 2.36 lakh come from Uttar Pradesh and Gujarat respectively. The list for the state-wise recovery amount is topped by Assam at rupees 554 crore, followed by Punjab at rupees 437 crore and Maharashtra at rupees 358 crore. Rupees 340 crore, rupees 258 crore and rupees 220 crore have to be recovered from Tamil Nadu, UP and Gujarat respectively. India has been offered 7.5 million doses of Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine through the COVAX Global Vaccine Sharing Program, but it is not clear when the jabs will arrive in the country, as the consensus on the indemnity clause is yet to be reached, sources said. Said that it is working actively with vaccine manufacturer Moderna to see how its vaccine can be made available in the country. Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine was granted emergency use authorization by India's drug regulator last month. India has been offered 7.5 million doses of Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine through the COVAX Global Vaccine Sharing Program, a source said. However, there is no clarity so far when the shots would be available in India, as the talks are still on and a consensus on the indemnity issue is yet to be reached, a source said. On the availability of Moderna vaccine in the country, Niti Aayog member Dr. V.K. Paul had recently said that the government is working actively with Moderna to see how its vaccine can be imported and be made available in the country. Security agencies have sounded a high alert over a possible terror attack in the national capital area before Independence Day celebrations on August 15. According to the inputs gathered by the security agencies, the Pakistan-based terror outfits can carry out terror attacks using explosive-laden drones.
The Pakistan-backed terror groups can target vital installations during the ongoing monsoon season and can disrupt Independence Day celebration in Delhi, the security agency said. The security agencies have warned the Delhi police that on August 5, the day Article 370 was removed from Jammu and Kashmir, Terror groups backed by Pakistan can carry out terror attacks in the national capital. The security agencies have said that terrorist groups are hatching a big conspiracy to create unrest in the capital city in the days to come. In the view of the recent drone attack on the IAF station in Jammu, Delhi Police Commissioner Balaji Srivastava had directed the Deputy Commissioner of Police, Joint CP and other intelligence unit officers of all the districts in Delhi to be on alert and monitor the drone threat diligently.
The Nagaland Board of School Education has declared the provisional results of the HSLC and HSLC examinations 2021 on July 20th. The HSLC examination for 2021 commenced from the 7th of April 2021 and concluded on the 21st of April, while the HSLC examination 2021 commenced from the 6th of April and concluded on the 29th of April. In HSLC, a total of 23,608 candidates were enrolled, and in the HSLC, a total of 16,834 were enrolled for the examination. 745 candidates were enrolled for the HSLC compartmental examination of 2021 and 461 qualified the examination with a pass percentage of 61.88%. Asano Sekose, NBSE chairperson, informed that in the HSLC examination 2021, out of 23,608 candidates, a total of 16,388 candidates qualified for the examination with a qualified percentage of 69.42%. The girls have again done better, with 8,719 girls qualifying, while 7,669 boys qualified for the examination. In the top 20 list, there are 82 candidates, out of which 24 are boys and the rest 58 are girls. 120 schools secured 100% qualified pass percentage. Out of 120 of them, 95 are private schools and 25 are government schools. This year, 23 schools have 0 to nil result, out of which all are government schools. Government schools qualified pass percentage for this year is 44.86%. Mokchung district topped the table with a percentage of 64%, followed by Perin and Pheg districts at 60%. Kifri district is at the bottom with 10%. In respect of private schools, Noklak district is at the top with a percentage of 95%, followed by Mokchung at 91%. 5 institutions from the arts stream, 7 institutions from science, and 3 institutions from commerce secured 100% pass result. The overall percentage of the arts stream is 69.37%, commerce stream at 74.39%, and science at 91.35%. There are 3 toppers from government higher secondary schools in the merit list of the HSLC examination. Sekhose informed that in view of the COVID-19 pandemic, the HSLC and the HSLC examinations 2021 was conducted taking all necessary measures and observing all SOPs stipulated by the government. Some students were tested COVID positive, and so a re-examination was conducted from the 22nd of June to the 25th of June for these students who could not appear in some or all the subjects. The results could be declared along with the main results with the active cooperation of all the schools and teachers. Keneno Thore from Trinity School Kohima secured the top 1 position in HSLC with a percentage of 98.50%. Tongpang Ozkam, Minister in charge of Kohima District Task Force, has appealed to the people of the Northern Angami region on Tuesday to understand the magnitude of COVID-19 infections and to come forward to receive COVID-19 vaccine and testing. He was speaking during a sensitization program on COVID testing and vaccination organized by the DTF on Tuesday in Kohima. Ozkam informed that following a cabinet meeting, the Chief Minister had directed all the elected representatives to reach out to the people in and around Kohima and to sensitize people on the government's strategy to tackle COVID-19 pandemic. Cautioning that the Delta variant had already reached Kohima, he underscored the need to ramp up COVID-19 testing and vaccination for the safety of the people. To persons who may have suspicious symptoms of COVID-19, the minister asked people to immediately report it to the authority so that the affected people can be isolated and treated on time. He also requested representatives of churches, students' bodies, village councils and village district task forces, etc. to spread the necessary information among villages so that the transmission of COVID-19 may be tackled while the possible third wave of COVID-19 may be prevented. Dr. Vezukhulu Theo, Chief Medical Officer of Kohima, urged for timely COVID-19 testing and treatment. She explained how the severity of the virus is reduced when a COVID-19 infected person is treated in time. She emphasized on the importance of COVID-19 vaccination, which has been developed to break the chain of transmission of the infection. The Delhi Cabinet on Monday decided to implement the One Nation, One Ration card plan to distribute ration free of cost to the public distribution system cardholders in the national capital. Delhi government said that all beneficiaries would get ration free of cost in a phased manner through electronic point of sale on biometric authentication at all fair price shops in Delhi. Earlier, the Supreme Court had ordered the implementation of the HornbillTV scheme across the country by July 31. The centre had on June 14 told the Supreme Court that the One Nation, One Ration Card plan aims to empower all National Food Security Act migrant beneficiaries to access their food grains from any fair price shop anywhere in the country by using their existing ration cards with biometric authentication, and the plan makes food security portable. It said that the Union of India is committed to making sufficient food grains available to the states at highly subsidized rates under the scheme to tide over the difficulty of food security during the current COVID-19 crisis. However, the responsibility of identification and distribution to the beneficiaries lie with the states and union territories. Around 14 living descendants of the family of the Renaissance genius Leonardo da Vinci have been identified after decades-long research into his purported remains. In Evolution Journal this month, the findings have resulted from a new genealogical tree going through 21 generations and 4 branches. In order to protect their identities, the study provided little information about the living descendants. The individuals vary in age from 1 to 85. Project researchers Agnes Sabato and Alessandro Vezzosi told CNN, according to reports. The study is a part of the Leonardo da Vinci DNA project. The project aims to confirm the remains thought to be his and to better understand his extraordinary talents and visual acuity through genetic associations. The researchers who carried out the study said the results are eagerly awaited from a historical viewpoint. They said it will help academics to scientifically explore the roots of his genius, to find information on his physical prowess and on his possibly precocious aging, on his being left-handed and his health and possible hereditary sicknesses, and to explain certain peculiar sensory perceptions like his extraordinary visual quality and synesthesia. Historical documents which are present in public and private archives and direct accounts by Leonardo's family members, descendants, led to these findings. Representatives from 15 NATO members in Afghanistan in a joint statement urged the Taliban to put the ongoing violation to an end. By Australia, Canada, the Czech Republic, Denmark, the EU delegation, Finland, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, Korea, the Netherlands, the Office of NATO and Senior Civilian Representative, Spain, Sweden, the United Kingdom, and the United States, the Khama Press reported citing the statement. The statement slammed the Taliban over targeted assassinations in Afghanistan, destruction of infrastructures, threats, declarations, and other actions against the gains of the past 20 years. In the recent developments, the United States termed the Afghan government and Taliban meeting in Doha as a positive step and noted that more must be done urgently as Afghans were suffering terribly from the war. In a series of tweets, U.S. Special Representative to Afghanistan Zalmay Khalilzad said only a negotiated political settlement can end this senseless violence, adding that Washington stands steadfastly with the Afghan people. Tamil Nadu police have booked 1.8 million people and collected a fine of rupees 200 each from each of them in the 101 days, reported Tamil newspaper Hindu Tamil. Between April 8th and July 17, as many as 18,07,651 people were caught by the police for not wearing masks in public places and booked them under the Epidemic Diseases Act. In addition to that, the police also lodged another 88,836 cases for violating social distancing norms. Most of these cases were slapped on shopkeepers and people assembling in public places and not keeping the physical distance of 1 meter. With experts warning of a third wave of the pandemic in the country soon, they have received strict instructions from high authorities in the department to strictly impose COVID-19 norms and penalize the violators, police officials said. Tamil Nadu reported 1,971 new COVID-19 cases and 2,885 discharges on Monday. The active cases in the state are 27,282 and 28 COVID-19 deaths were reported on Monday. Tamil Nadu started witnessing the caseload rising in the last week of March when the second wave struck the country. The caseload peaked in May with 20,000 plus cases per day, and the state government announced a total lockdown from May 24th. The lockdown is reviewed and extended with more relaxation. The state invoked the Epidemic Diseases Act during the first wave of the coronavirus pandemic and mandated COVID-19 appropriate behavior, including wearing masks and social distancing. The violators were caught and penalized under the act. Once the cases started increasing in March this year, police tightened their grip on violators of COVID-19 appropriate behavior. According to police officials, the norms were tightened on April 8th and they started booking people for not wearing the masks. And that was all for the eye. For the latest news and updates, stay tuned to Hornbill TV.